Hello everyone, and welcome to my NEET channel. I think from this point forward, I am probably going to stop talking about the COVID-19 outbreak, just because, well, I'm getting tired about talking about it, and it's not getting the views that I thought it would. And also, I feel like some of the stuff that I'm saying about the outbreak is gonna bite me in the ass in the future, and I might have to end up deleting those videos. But I think it's not that I lied about being sick with the virus, because I'm pretty confident that I did have it given how long the symptoms lasted, but it's more the way I talked about it that might be extremely offensive and insensitive to some people. So I might just end up deleting the video to cover my own ass. But I might leave it on too, just to maybe document my state of mind and maybe my opinions or my values, like to give maybe to, I don't know, remind myself of what I was like. I don't know. I guess to let the audience know, the viewers know, what type of person I was in the past, and maybe show some sort of change in me by doing this, or maybe not. Well, we'll see if that happens over time. But anyways, today I want to talk about the main. I want to move on and talk about what I intended to be the main, I guess, focus of this channel, which was talking about NEET issues and just my experience as a NEET, and I guess the various phenomena and maybe explanations for, you know, normies who don't exactly know what this lifestyle entails and the many reasons why people are this way, and the various societal phenomena that contribute to this kind of thing, and, you know, as well as the motivations for why someone would want to be this way. And I guess for this video, I'll be talking about myself personally, and I guess going to give a brief summary of the many reasons why I am currently a NEET. I'll probably just be giving brief explanations and go into these topics on a very shallow level, and maybe go into each topic individually in future videos. But anyways, I digress. I'm rambling. Yeah, the first reason why I am a NEET is because of mental illness. I would say in that regard, I'm relatively lucky, because as far as I know, there are people suffering from mental illness who have it far worse than me. I would say that, I mean, I'm thankful that I'm not, you know, hearing voices telling me to shove tennis balls up my asshole, or I don't necessarily have the urge to capture small animals and torture them and kill them and put them in shoe boxes. So I'm thankful for that. I guess I'm normal in that regard, but in terms of everything else, I'd say that's where I struggle. And I think, you know, people can suffer from multiple illnesses, or, you know, one or two things really severely, and I would say I fall in the former category, where I suffer from several different mental illnesses which are comorbid, meaning that they all happen at the same time and feed off of each other. And I would say in terms of severity level, I would say I'm at about a 3 or a 4 for most of them, apart from 1 or 2, mainly my social anxiety and my tendency to be addicted to things. But other than that, yeah, I would say it's not that I suffer from one thing like really severely, like autism, for example, where I am, incapable of functioning, I guess socially, incapable of reading social cues completely. I do have these abilities, for example. It's just that I have them to a much lesser degree than the average or normal person does, and to the degree that it interferes with my ability to function normally and interact with people normally. But I would say it's more that the interactions between the various mental illnesses that I suffer from, I'll list them briefly, at least. And by the way, I don't really have a formal diagnosis for a lot of these. The only formal diagnosis I have is of ADHD, but that was when I was a little kid, and well, I don't know how true that is today, whether I still have it. And also, I've heard that ADHD is a sort of wastebasket diagnosis that they just use to diagnose, boys who are just being boys, But anyways, I suffer from mostly social anxiety, with a little sprinkling of Asperger's. What else? Asperger's, addiction, cyclothymia, and just a whole bunch of other things that I'll probably get into detail in a future video. And so I feel like all of these things interact and make me incapable of, functioning normally. Because, for example, my Asperger's causes social skill deficits, which makes it harder for me to socialize, and makes me therefore have a lot more negative social experiences, which then interacts with my social anxiety. Like, it feeds into that, and it just creates this feedback loop. And anyways, I'll move on to the next topic. The next reason why I'm a NEET, and that would be because of my lack of social skills. The reason for this is, because, I don't know, it's hard to say. It could be upbringing, because I was very sheltered as a kid, and at the same time, I was introduced to video games at a very young age, and that's pretty much all I did from, I think, age 4 onwards, for the vast majority of my life, before I realized how destructive playing video games all day and all night was. I think one of my earliest memories was playing video games at age 4 in some sort of hotel or motel. I remember I was playing Pokemon Pinball on the Game Boy Color, and that's one of my earliest memories. So I think the earlier memories they tend to be formative memories, and maybe that memory signifies how I was just hooked on video games from such an early age, and it just fucked with my brain chemistry and caused me to become just hopelessly addicted. And another reason might be, just like I alluded to earlier, my Asperger's, and how that just inherently gives me a very low level of social functioning. Things that would be instinctual to most people just don't happen as naturally for me. Third reason, and I think I should probably get into maybe how these things contribute to NEETdom, or I said fuck because it's just not flowing the way I wanted to, but hopefully I'll get better at this. I'd say that mental illness it just makes it so that I don't know, it just makes it difficult to function in society because it makes you act in ways which are extremely off-putting to people. And these off-putting ways are very painful, especially for people with social anxiety or social phobia, which I'm not really sure the distinctions between the two, but but it just makes it hard and creates this like back and forth dynamic where eventually the mental illness just makes it, I don't know, painful to interact with people. And the more painful it becomes, the more people like me tend to self-isolate ourselves and just become neat. Neat and hikikomori. In terms of poor social skills, it's kind of the same thing too, where social skills are probably one of the most important skills to just living in everyday society and living a normal life. And a lack of these skills causes a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of negative behaviors tend to be directed towards people who don't have social skills. And as a result of that, the socializing becomes painful. It eventually leads to social things like social anxiety, and as well as contributes to it. And poor social skills are a bitch to deal with. The next reason I am a NEET would probably have to be losing the genetic lottery. I'm kind of too lazy to show all the reasons why right now, but I guess a good summary of that for now would be that I'm not the most attractive person, and attractiveness, though it's not everything, is a big part of interacting with people. Regardless of what you think, attractive people just have it so much easier in life than unattractive people, and they're afforded so much more mistakes in terms of social skills than an unattractive person. For example, something bad that an attractive person might do might be considered cute, or they might be more forgiven for, like, people might make more excuses for them. For example, they might attribute that to their upbringing, or just, I don't know, maybe to their bad mood or whatever. Whereas for an unattractive person, the same exact behavior might be considered creepy. I don't know. Yeah, I guess creepy is the main thing. Creepy, off-putting, dangerous, angry, evil. And you sort of get my idea, where just losing the genetic lottery as far as that goes, appearances goes, is just, it's just a bitch to deal with. And also, it's not just like physical appearance as far as like facial features goes, but also like body type. I'm not the strongest person. I am just naturally not very athletic. I remember when I was a little kid how during phys ed I fucking hated that class so much, just because for example, everybody was able to do push-ups except me. I couldn't even do one push-up when I was like, I don't know, like 3rd or 4th grade, and it was just really embarrassing. I could barely run at all. I was athletically challenged, to say the least. And yeah, I'm also just not very strong. Even when I lifted weights at one point, I was never as strong as other people, and my strength to weight ratio was always very low, and meaning that I would put on a lot of weight, but I would never lift a lot for that weight. Like, people at the same weight as me could lift like twice as much as me, 3 times as much. So all in all, I would just get fat. And yeah, there's just so many reasons why I lost the genetic lottery. And I will probably get into that in, yeah, like I fucking keep saying, future videos. I'll stop saying that because I'm probably getting pretty redundant right now. Anyways, fourth reason is poor character. And I don't know, maybe I admit to myself that, there's a chance that maybe all this mental illness stuff is, maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I'm just imagining things, and maybe I just really have, as people would say, bad character. I'm a piece of shit, I guess. But at the same time, is that really my fault? Maybe that too plays into losing the genetic lottery, and that I basically inherited really bad personality traits from my parents that just caused me to be this way. And so therefore, is it really my fault? But irregardless, I guess that just means that I have poor character, poor personality, I'm unlikable, stuff like that. And how I guess most NEETs in general, or some NEETs, might suffer from this, the ones that aren't, completely mentally ill, who aren't seeing, like, I don't know, like ghosts, or I don't know what schizophrenic people see, or like hear, but yeah. The fifth reason why I am in NEET actually has to do with, bad luck and circumstances, and that includes all of the aforementioned reasons, as well as things like upbringing. And I guess previously, a lot of these things assumed some sort of genetic basis, but maybe, well, it has to do with my upbringing, where I was brought up a certain way, where I was, coddled a lot. Because I'm an only child, I was basically spoiled at a very early age, and given everything, I wasn't allowed the space and, I guess the space and the, how do you put this? The space and, yeah, it's the space to, grow up and figure things on my own. I was always pampered. I was always nagged about homework. I had helicopter parents, so yeah, I guess if you guys can't already tell, I'm Asian, and I just happen to have parents that would always, nag me about homework, and would always ensure that I came home right after school. And, because I was never really given a choice, I never really questioned it. And because of that, I never had the chance to do things that normal kids would do, like interact with my peers after school and develop, normal social bonds and learn social skills. And so I guess my upbringing really plays into a lot of the aforementioned problems that I'm talking about. Maybe if I had been given the opportunity to interact with people my age, then I wouldn't be so developmentally delayed. I would have maybe, like, I can't say this for sure, but maybe I could have offset a lot of the problems I have from my Asperger's, and maybe eventually even overcome it. But because of my upbringing, well, that's that. I guess I just ended up the way I am. And I guess upbringing, is one of the main reasons why NEETs are NEETs. I know that a lot of people have had worse upbringings than me, and I'm certainly lucky in that regards as well. But I mean, it sucks too, because I'd say my upbringing wasn't bad enough where people would pity me and feel sorry for me, but it was bad enough where it affected my behavior and my, I guess, ability to function normally. So, yeah, it's just, I'm just in that sweet spot of bad upbringing where nobody takes pity, and I guess, nobody takes pity on me and addresses, like, people think that I'm this way because I'm just a piece of shit, which maybe I am. I have no idea anymore, but yeah. The fourth reason why I fucking losing count. The next reason why I may NEET really has less to do with like myself and more to do with my, I guess, beliefs about jobs. And that's specifically that jobs, I feel, are just not worth it. I say this from an economic standpoint, where most jobs, they require you to do really repetitive and menial things for long hours, and I feel like they damage you psychologically, having to interact with other emotionally damaged people a lot of the time, and doing these things and repetitive tasks, which just, end up being extremely soul crushing and mind numbing. And at the end of the day, doing these things, they just, not only do they stifle you from achieving your potential, but they just force you into this rut of depression and, depression and sadness and meaninglessness, which is currently what I'm suffering from right now. But I feel like it would be so much worse if I had a job. Yeah, and tying back to like economics, I just feel like the amount that you're paid to go through these experiences is not nearly enough, especially since most jobs pay minimum or close to minimum wage. And in my opinion, given my lack of credentials, like at most I have a high school diploma, which I guess is something, but given my age and the fact that I wasn't able to complete university, I feel like I'm basically unable to compete for most desirable jobs. So what I'm left with is the really undesirable jobs that will just end up, I don't know, giving me depression, just exacerbating my mental illness, and just making me way more unhappy. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, it's just the soul crushing nature of these jobs is just, it's hard on the spirit. Like, it's hard on the psyche, if that makes sense. Like, it just, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it to go through that just to be paid minimum wage, or even if it's not minimum wage, just the constant abuse that most people go through from their bosses and their coworkers, especially given my mental illness and poor social skills, is really just something that I don't want to deal with. And finally, the final and last reason why I may NEET is because getting a job won't fix my problems. I would get a job in a heartbeat if getting one would cure me of all this, but unfortunately, I feel like getting a job wouldn't solve the underlying problems that I'm currently dealing with. And I feel like at the very least, as a NEET, I have an opportunity to engage in things like introspection and research online to find out what exactly is wrong with me. Whereas if I were to be in a job, not only would I not fix these problems, I would also just end up being more miserable because of these problems, and also being miserable because of that would further reinforce and worsen a lot of the problems I already have. So yeah, and moreover, why would I want to go to a job and work, you know, suffer from a lot of the, I guess, troubles that most working people do, when I could just sit at home and play video games and enjoy myself, play video games, watch YouTube, Netflix, and just have a good time, you know? Yeah, like why work, you know, if I'm just gonna end up suffering anyways. At least I'd rather suffer from mental illness in the comfort of my own home and with just endless media to consume over the internet than be forced to do these things and still suffer from these things at the same time. So I would say that, yeah, overall, because jobs won't fix my problems, that's the reason why I won't get a job. And I feel most NEETs would probably agree with me on these last 2 points. Anyways, yeah, these are the 7 reasons why I am a NEET. There are probably more that I haven't gotten into, but I would say these are the main reasons why. And yeah, I would say that I have no idea what I was going to say. Anyways, it's getting pretty late. I'm pretty tired, so I'm probably going to end the video now. Hopefully you enjoyed it, whoever's watching this, and make sure to hit the like and subscribe button below if you agree with me or just want to see more content or support this channel. I'll try and improve the quality of the videos I'm making, and hopefully I'll get better and better. And yeah, is there anything else for me to add? I guess not. Anyways, oh yeah, I forgot. Because it's pretty hard for me to remember all the things I want to talk about without interrupting myself over and over again with these long, awkward pauses and repeating myself, I decided for the meantime to just write out the, I guess, the overarching structure of my videos through these little bullet point things on some notepad. So hopefully that will help me in the meantime, at least while I don't have the skills to make good videos. Anyways, I think I'm going to end the video now. So yeah, thanks for watching.